Hello beautiful people, in today's video I'm going to be doing a couple different makeup looks inspired by it's not really a new release anymore because it's like a month old, but it was inspired by the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. I wasn't originally interested in that palette when I first saw it, but then whatever reason it sparked my interest, and then instead of purchasing it I had the brilliant idea of trying to recreate some of the looks that I've seen on tutorials and based on the swatches online, trying to pull from different palettes to see what colors I have that can compare, that can satisfy my craving for that color scheme. At first the color scheme didn't catch my eye, but like I said, for whatever reason it started to inspire me and I got really intrigued by it. So I thought I would do this video and create a couple looks. I created one look that I really liked, and then that look inspired me to create two more looks because I wish I had filmed that look. I might still do it one day, who knows. This is not the look that I'm going to be doing. I actually already filmed that intro, but what I wanted to do in that, I wanted to display a picture of that palette on the screen while I talked about each color that I chose, but unfortunately my editing software sucks and I have no idea how to do that. So I made the executive decision to refilm this intro all over again on a different day and do it a different way, the way I should have done it originally, but now that I know. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So what I did was I have pulled up the palette on my phone here. This is the only way I can do it. Like I said, I'm not technologically savvy enough to figure out how to do it with my complicated editing system. So this is what we're going to do for now. By the way, a look on this look, it's the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 tutorial, is going to be up in a few videos in the future. So subscribe and you will get notified of that upload. Okay, so the first color that inspired me, not inspired me, but the first color I decided to try and, find in my collection, hopefully my lights aren't glaring too much off my screen, is this khaki green color here. So naturally the first color I thought of, like probably many other people when they saw that palette, was the Melt Gemini palette. I don't have the 420 palette, but I have this one. Now I can't tilt it too far because this color here will shatter, but maybe if I just hold it a little bit. But the first khaki color reminded me of this color, but also this color Leo here. So I did use a little bit of, in the first look I created, I used a little bit of this shade and this shade to create that khaki kind of look. But then I also came across another shadow that I had that kind of worked as a base to anchor it, because these shadows are kind of old and the formula is kind of patchy and not that great. So I only used the khaki from this palette to deepen up a couple of the looks. But for my Natasha Denona palette, the Metropolis palette, the shade Troop was a fantastic forest green / khaki color. Now I heard a lot of people describing that color like a forest green, but personally I think khaki is better suited to that color, but who knows, I don't have the palette in front of me, so I can't say exactly if it's more khaki or more forest green. People's color perceptions are different. But those are the two colors that I decided to pull out for that khaki color. Now the next color I found it kind of difficult to pull because it looks different in different lights. So basically it is a golden green. Now I don't have anything exactly like that, I don't think. Maybe I do from, I'll show you in a second, a Makeup Geek color. But I thought maybe this color here from the Melt palette could also suffice for that. It is a golden green. It's probably coming off a lot more gold on camera. But I also have this color here from Makeup Geek. It's called Jester. But I think that the color, like this, on my swatch on my phone with my finger, the color is coming off pretty much exactly the same. But the thought I had in my head was that if I wanted a green color, pull a green color from my collection, and then I can top it with a pretty sparkly topper shade like this. That could do, right? I mean, we're just trying to get like a golden green here. So of those colors I thought could work for that green color. I also have this one here from the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I have this brass shade. So I'm just looking at Sebastian, he's up on the door there. So this color here is also beautiful. That could do for like a gold color because it does have a bit of a green undertone to it. And I think maybe if you added a little bit of the green topper, it would suffice. So those are the colors that I, you know, pulled for that golden green color. Give me 1 second. I just need to turn on my other light. I forgot to turn on the big light in my bedroom. Give me 1 moment. Okay, hopefully that's going to help with the lighting situation. Like I said, I filmed this video impromptu, so I'm not 100% fully set up yet. I did, however, remember to turn my dehumidifier off, so we're not going to be interrupted by that. But yeah, like, I don't even want to wipe my hands off. Those are beautiful colors. Anyways, we're going to move straight along here. I need to pick up these palettes because I still need them. I'm not done talking about them yet. Okay, so the next color here, we have this, it's like a mustard green. Now, of course, for the mustard green, I didn't get an exact, you know, replica of it because it's hard to tell on a swatch. But this is a beautiful mustard green here from the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. This one here, the shade Mochi. Also, I thought the shade from the Natasha Denona TrioChrome palette, the shade Vert, was a really good mustard yellow dupe for that. So I used that in, I believe, the first look. Yeah, the first look. Now for this beautiful yellowy chartreuse green color, I used the shade, let me just turn up my screen here. So that yellowy, it's going down again. What a fail. I have my phone's brightness set to automatic, so if I'm going to point it at bright lights, it's going to turn down on me, so unfortunately. But for that bright chartreuse color, I thought the shade Ion could look really similar to it. I also thought the shade, where is it? This Gravity color here from the Club Nebula palette by Angelica Nyqvist from Kaleidos, so same brand. I thought that color would do a great job at mimicking that really bright chartreuse kind of green color. So for the second color that I have here, not the second color, sorry. So next is this peachy color right here. So in different lightings, different swatches, it kind of looked more pink, kind of looked more peach. So I decided to play it safe and I went into my Natasha Denona Tropic palette and I used the two shades here, Peach Puff and Nudist. These are two that I used in the second look that is going to be coming up. So that is the peach shade. Now I didn't really find anything for that maroony plum shade. It didn't really call my name. I don't think I really would have played with it right away if I would have bought this palette, so we're going to skip right over that. And we're going to head on to the sparkly pink shade. Now that, again, comes out of the Club Nebula palette. So swatched here, the shade Celestial. So swatched, the shade Celestial doesn't look like much, but on the eye, it actually pulls a lot more pink than it leans in the pan, which was perfect for the stained glass shade. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to pull up on camera, but on my eye, when I use it in the tutorial, it comes across more pink, and I thought it was a pretty decent match for the stained glass color there. The next one we have is going to be this sparkly, so these two, from what I heard in the reviews, are more of like topper shades, so that goes right along with the topper theme there. So the finish will be really similar. They're kind of like a lightweight, sparkly, shiny, sparkly shade. The next shade here we have, I believe that was called Aloe Cove, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, I will correct it on the screen here. But that shade kind of resembled a couple different colors to me. In some swatches it looked more mint green, and in other swatches it looked more like a green. So I pulled out a couple, I pulled out one topper, which is going to be the color that it leans more green. So this shade Firefly from the Kaleidos palette is the color that I use for, you know, if I wanted it to lean more green, I used that color, which I think goes pretty well. Two other colors here that I kind of just used as just like, you know, just accents, just shimmery accents, and I topped it with that one just to kind of give it like the actual color that I see on the screen, is this color here from Makeup Geek. It's the shade called Fantasy. Now it is it's a minty green, which is just beautiful. So those two colors mixed together I feel gave me what looks to be like the Aloe Cove in the screen. I also used, in the very first look that I used to recreate it, I had this little eyeshadow here, just a minty green color from this place called The Body Shop. It's a place here in Canada, although it's not for sale I don't think anymore. It is another mint shade that leans more blue, so in the event that I wanted the shade to lean more blue, I have that one there. And for the very last color here, that beautiful mint pastel green, I had two colors that I could kind of play with. The first one is also going to be from Makeup Geek, and it's the shade called Dragonfly. And the second shade is from my Natasha Denona 28 pan palette, and it is the shade, let me just get it here, I just have to press one of the eyeshadows in, it was kind of coming out. It is the shade Powder Blue, sorry to blind you, right here. So Powder Blue leans a little bit more blue, versus the Makeup Geek, it leans a little bit more green. So I actually used the powder blue shade from Natasha Denona in the first look I created, but not in this video, but like in the one I did off camera. In the tutorial that I did, I think it was the second one that I did, I ended up blending these two shades together to create what I thought was the perfect shade to replicate the minty green there on the swatch that I see on this here arm. So there you have it. I didn't exactly swatch all of the colors because, you know, I don't think that far ahead and I'm not that talented to do that as a YouTuber. Anyways, there's some of the swatches there and I explained the rest of them. So this intro was going to be too long anyways, but I'm glad I was able to refilm it and actually show you guys the swatches on my phone and in real life so you guys can get a better picture of what I'm talking about. Without further ado, let's get right into the first look. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to start out by using the shade Gravity, and I'm going to put that on my really small pencil brush here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that to the inner corner here just to help start a color to blend the khaki green into. I'm not going to put very much because I don't want to like overtake the look. And then for the outer corner I'm taking a different brush. I'm going to take, what am I going to take? I'll take this really fluffy one. And I'm going to take the same shade, Gravity. Now of course these shades will not be exact to the palette, but I mean, it gives a bit of the idea, which is what I'm going for. We'll see if I still want the palette after I recreate a couple looks with similar shades I have in my collection. Alright, so for the inner part here, I'm going to take a little bit of Gravity on yet a different brush here. And I'm just going to connect the two like that. Alright, that's a decent base I think. Okay, so for the khaki green shade, I'm going to take this one here from my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. And I'm going to start with that small pencil brush, and I'm going to start on the inner corner here. And just gently working that in to the innermost corner. Not taking it too far in because I don't want to look like a raccoon. And doing halo eyes on my small eye shape takes a lot more precision. And this isn't exactly a quick look that I can just, you know, like whip together if I'm in a rush. It takes time, otherwise it doesn't really work out. But every time I've done a halo eye and it's turned out good, so I want to try and start doing more of these because they are an interesting different technique to what I'm used to doing. Hopefully I'm zoomed in enough for you. Okay, so that is as much on the inner corner as I'm going to take for now. For the outer corner, I'm going to start building it up with a fluffy brush, but not as fluffy as the one I took Gravity with. This is the ABH brush that I always use. And I'm just going to start packing that, sorry, not packing, fluffing that to the outer corner here. Now I didn't do foundation today first because I expect some fallout. Alright, now I'm taking, oh, I almost dropped it. I'm taking the other side of this brush and I'm going to start working that color more on the lid, concentrating it. And then I'm back and forth fluffing it out. I find the key too is to keep looking back and making sure your placement is where you want it. You can always add more later. It's harder to take away. Alright, now I'm just going to take that same brush that I used for the inner corner and I'm just going to blend. I'm not going to add anything else just yet. I'm just going to blend those two colors. Yeah, I think I need to add a little bit more. Actually, no. I'm going to take this shade here. So this is obviously one of the shades that I pulled from, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But anyways, this is from the Natasha Denona TrioChrome palette. But like I said, I explained all that in the beginning. So I'm just taking that shade and just adding it to the inner part here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the khaki color and I'm going to put that over top, just lightly. I don't want to close it in too much, but at the same time, I'm just going to blend out that khaki there too. Switching brushes again. Okay, so far I'm liking the way that is looking. Everything seems to be blended somewhat decently. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that, and then for the inner corner here, I'm going to take, do I take glitter glue? Yeah, I think I'm going to take glitter glue. It's looking a little bit patchy on the viewfinder right here, but in real life it like looks blended. Alright, I'm going to take a dab of glitter glue. And I'm going to take both the pink and the green shimmer. Actually, no, I'm just going to take the pink shimmer. Taking the pink one on the middle. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of glitter glue there first, just to make sure it sticks and pops to the most it could possibly pop. And I'm overlapping slightly on either side, just to give... I'm going to take this pink shade here, Celestial. And I'm going to tap that over top, in the middle. I think green would look really nice on this too. Maybe green would look better. I'm going to take a little bit of green because I feel like green will look really good. And I'm just going to take the green right over top. That looks cool. Alright. Hopefully you can see that there. Alright, I like the way that looks. It's interesting. Alright, so for brow bone highlight, I'm going to take Booty Call from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. I'm going to pop that on the brow bone here. I will finish the inner corner when I come back after I complete the other eye, catch the other eye up. Alright, so other eye's caught up. I feel like I look so weird with the dark on the inner corner. I feel like my eyes look like they're like going in. I'm not sure if I like this look so far, but we will finish it up and then see what the end result looks like. For the inner part here, I decided to do it on camera. I'm taking the KVD Alchemist palette, and I'm going to take the shade in Green Emerald, and I'm just going to take this lightly on the inner corner here, to help bring the look together. Add some more green. Now this look is inspired by that palette. It's not like, I'm not sticking to only things that are found in that palette. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm going to take this NARS pencil and I'm going to apply that to help the shadows stick. I'm not going to mimic the upper lash line on the lower lash line because that never looks good on me. So I'm going to take the shade here from the Natasha Denona TrioChrome palette, and I'm going to take that along the outer half of the eye. And then I'm going to take the green from the Club Nebula palette. I'm going to take that on the inner corner. And in the inner corner of the eye as well. Okay. How is that looking? I don't know if this is my best work. Why, you ask? I don't know. Just not liking it. We'll see when mascara goes on. Sometimes that pulls the look together. Okay. Alright. It's getting there. I'm just going to take a little bit of the green onto the upper part here. Maybe I should put some of the... so on this eye I added the green shimmer and then I put the pink on top of it, versus this eye I added the pink first and put the green on top of it. So if you can tell the difference, this one has more of a green pull and this one has more of a pink pull. I wanted just to see if it made a difference. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and catch the other eye. Be right back. Okay, so the other eye is caught up. I'm going to add something to my lower waterline. I'm going to take this Urban Decay pencil in Freak and I'm going to apply it to the waterline, as I just said. And then I'm going to top it with the shade, this eye never works as good as that eye. I'm going to top it with the shade Gravity from the Kaleidos palette. Alright. Okay, so this is the final look. I like how the final look turned out. A lot of times when you're doing your makeup, I feel like it doesn't come together until the completely end, until your face is done, your lip is on, your mascara is on. But yeah, this is how it looks. I'll give you a close-up. So that is the eye there that I added the pink first, and this is the eye that I added the green first. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera how they look or not, but yeah. So far, this is satisfying my need, and I feel like I do not need to purchase this palette, but I am going to go on to the second look right now, and I'll give you my thoughts at the very end. Alright, so to start off this look, I'm going to use a combination of these two shadows here from the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. I don't exactly know exactly what color that peach shade was. It looks a bit different in a lot of different videos and swatches I've seen. So I'm just going to take it upon myself to just mix a concoction of like a pink and peach that I already have. And yeah, it'll get the job done, so to speak. So I'm just taking this on the inner corner here. I'm going to kind of do this look not so precise, but at the same time kind of precise. So I'm just going to take this peach color all over the center, sorry, not the center, the inner corner of the lid here. And I'm just dipping my brush back and forth between the Peach Puff and the Nudist shade, and I like the color that it's coming out like. Okay, and then I'm going to take, this is going to be a super simple look also. I'm going to take the blue shade from the Natasha Denona green blue, purple blue palette, and I'm taking this on the outer half here. Now, I was going to take this shade here too from Makeup Geek called Dragonfly. I wasn't sure, like actually I'm just going to mix them. This one pulls a bit more green, while this one pulls a bit more blue. I'm not sure if it's coming off on camera or not, but we're just going to make it work. Because, you know, it's not an exact replica of that makeup, of that palette, sorry, it's inspiration by, so I'm just going to use what I have. And I'm going to take that on the lid a little bit, Okay. Now I'm just going to take my fluffier brush here and I'm just going to blend it out a little bit more just so it's not so harsh lines. Okay, now I'm not sure if this part's going to work out, but I'm going to take the, where'd it go? I just had, oh, it flipped over. I'm going to take the khaki color from the Metropolis palette, and I'm going to take that on a pencil brush here. So I'm just wiping it off. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go in the outer corner with the peach shade and the khaki shade, or if I wanted to do the blue. Both would look. I originally wanted to do this shade, but because I used the khaki in the first look, I thought I would switch it up. So I'm just going to add the khaki down here. And we'll see how this turns out. This could be a mistake, but... Now because I use a rather stiff brush for this outer corner, it's going to take me a little bit more work to blend it out, but we'll get there. I don't want it to be super precise. Going in with, let's do this brush here. Slightly fluffy brush, but still slightly dense. I'm just going to take a bit more of that khaki color and then just work it out into the blue. Now because this is a cream to powder, I'm having a bit of a difficulty blending it into the powder shadow. I should have thought about that, but I didn't. Alright, so I'm going to go back into the blue here, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that over top of that khaki color just to help blend it in even more. It doesn't look perfect, and as you can see here, it looks a little bit patchy, but that's my mistake. Alright. Going back with a little bit more blue to add some more blue to it. Okay, that looks as good as it's going to get for now. Okay, so because I want to add a little bit more like bluish sparkle and I don't exactly have that Aloe Cove shade, I have a combination of two colors here. This one is from a store called The Body Shop here in Canada. It's an old shadow, but it's just like a really like a frosty mint blue color. And then I also have, excuse me, this shade here from Makeup Geek. It's called Fantasy. More of a green, so I thought I would take like a little bit of the two colors and kind of just like add them on top of each other one at a time, just to kind of get the effect that I'm looking for from that Aloe Cove shade. Again, it doesn't have to be exact because I'm just doing an inspired. I don't know how many times I can say that. So I just wanted to take a little bit of those shadows just to add to that there, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the pink color from the Kaleidos, and I'm just going to take that on the first half of the lid, overlapping the peach shade just a little bit, and then I'm going to go back with the green sparkle and add that to the outer corner. Hopefully you can see that there. Alright, so for the brow bone, I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade Booty Call from the Naked 2 palette. And there we go. Now for the inner corner, maybe I will brighten up. Okay, buddy? I'm just going to take a little bit more of that peach color in the inner corner, but I'm going to take it on this brush here. So I'm going to take another combination of the Nudist and Peach Puff and taking it on the brush there. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of that pink color again with this brush and just dust it lightly onto the inner corner, just to add a little bit more dimension and to blend the inner corner color to the inner corner. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and catch up the other eye, apply some liner, do the face, and come back and complete the lower lash line. I'm probably going to add a little bit of brown pencil to the lash line as well. Okay, rest of my face is done, other eye's all cut up. I'm going to go ahead and finish the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with my Essence pencil in don't know, there is no name. Anyways, I'm just going to apply this underneath the eye to give the eyeshadow's base a base to stick to. And I'm going to keep it somewhat lighter for the lower lashes. I don't really want to do a copy of what's on the top. So I'm just going to take a combination of, let's use a fluffier brush. I'm going to take a combination of the Peach Puff and Nudist, and I'm going to take that all along the lower lashes. Well, not all along, I'm going to take it about just over halfway. And then I'm going to go into the Kaleidos palette, and I'm going to take the pink. Actually, I think I'm going to take the pink or the mint. The mint will help tie in the top part together, so I think I'm going to do that. Not the mint, sorry, the green. Alright. Just because I want to bring some more of this green into the look here. And this is, I think, a different way to do it. And I like different, so here we go. Okay. Didn't quite get that base in the inner corner there, so I need a little bit more product to build it up. Okay, I think for the inner corner I'll do the Celestial shade there. Okay, and that is how it's looking. I think I'm going to take some green on the lower lash line just to help tie everything in. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my Freak pencil from Urban Decay, and then I'm going to top it with, I'm going to top it with this one here. It's not. Okay, I believe that tied things together nicely. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other eye, apply mascara, and show you guys the completed look. Okay, so this is the final look complete. For lips, real quick, I just mixed a little bit of my Lawless lipstick in Annie with, I have the dropsies today. I mixed that with a little bit of the Melt Cosmetics lipstick in Mural. Okay, so I will zoom in so you can get a closer look at the eye. Yeah, that was right. Alright, so this is the second look inspired by the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. I definitely don't think I'm going to be purchasing this palette now. I feel like the looks that I've created, the two I filmed, and like I did one yesterday with a couple of the like greeny colors with the golds that I had from the Melt palette. I looked like that and I liked it, but I don't think I need to spend the money to order that palette. I feel like the colors that I have here that I've collected is satisfying my craving for that color scheme, so saves me some money there. This might be a new video series that I can do if I'm inspired by a palette and if I don't want to spend the money. I think I'm going to try and start digging out the colors of my collection, and I could film it and show you guys, and maybe it would help inspire you to dig out older colors in your collection and maybe save you some money. Who knows? Anyways, I really did like these two looks that I did, and I also did one that I didn't film. Maybe I'll do that in the future, I'm not sure, but I don't even remember what I did at this point in time. It was like last week. Anyways, without rambling, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys will consider subscribing before you go, and you guys will see me in my next video. Have a great day. Bye!